Okay, this is how you outsmart and hack your fear. So fear creates conditions upon which it believes it will find safety. So fear will say something like, what if we're always alone and no one ever loves us? Or what if we are not successful? And then most people hear that and feel that and they go, don't worry, we will find someone. Or like, oh my God, don't worry about that. We are going to become successful. This is a problem for the fearful part of you because now the condition upon which it believes it will find safety has been verified and affirmed by you. When you say, don't worry, you will find someone, your fear is like, see, if we don't find someone, we won't be okay. And so for as long as we affirm a condition upon which we will feel safe and okay, we will always have this sneaking fear and suspicion that says, what if we don't? We will always have that what if because the future is innately unknown. We can't know for sure if someone's going to meet us and we're going to fall in love or if we're going to become successful in whatever way you measure it. So you make a big mistake every time you say to yourself, don't worry, that's not going to happen. Or don't worry, XYZ will happen because you're smarter than that. Your subconscious is like, but you don't know that for sure. It's in the future and we don't know what happens in the future. So the way instead to hack or soothe your fear is to tell the part of you that has a fear that even if that does happen, or if that doesn't happen, depending on what end of the spectrum you're on, even that is okay. So if your fear is, what if I never make $1 million? Like, let's say that's where you find your safety, freedom, and security. That part of you needs to know that even if you never make $1 million, it will be okay. And the it will be okay is not in all things will work out because even your subconscious is like, you don't know that either. It's in, I will always be kind and loving towards you. I will not judge you. I will not shame you. I will not guilt you. I will not make you feel terrible if that thing doesn't happen. That is the security and the trust that our fear is looking for. That even if all these conditions that we fear happening or not happening don't take place, that our relationship to ourselves will remain solidly compassionate, kind, and loving. This is how we move out of the paradigm of fear and into divine connection and love for ourselves. By telling ourselves that no matter what circumstance, situation, thing happens or doesn't happen, we will always be loving to ourselves, and therefore it will always be okay.
Fear of something bad happening in the future, it's just one of the things that makes us uniquely human. Unlike animals who fear immediate dangers, we carry the weight of what ifs. What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? These thoughts often hold us back, keeping us from achieving our dreams. Fear can be a double-edged sword. On one hand, it's necessary. It stops us from taking reckless actions. But more often than not, our fears are baseless. They become barriers to our potential. I recently asked my followers, what fear is holding you back? Here are some of the responses. Fear of failure, fear of abandonment or rejection, fear of intimacy, fear of success, fear of being broke, fear of not being good enough. Honestly, the last one, fear of not being good enough, is at the root of all the others. Think about it. We fear failure because we're worried we're not good enough. We fear rejection for the same reason. Even the fear of success stems from self-doubt. I'll be honest, I've struggled with that fear my entire life. The fear that I'm not good enough. For over decades, this fear stopped me from chasing my dream. I didn't try because I was convinced I'd fail. But here's what I learned. My fears were baseless. I am good enough. I'm not perfect. No one is. But perfection isn't the goal. When I finally decided to overcome this fear, to put myself out there, I found success. And yes, I still have fears. Even now, I worry about failing in front of thousands of people, but I don't let it stop me anymore. Fear left unchecked becomes self-fulfilling prophecy. It convinces us not to try, which guarantees failure. Fear whispers lies. You're not ready. You're not good enough. But here's the truth. Everyone, even the most successful people, feel fear. The difference is they don't let it paralyze them. Barack Obama, Steve Jobs, J.K. Rowling, they all felt fear. but they acted despite it. And so can you. There's no magic formula to beating fear, but there are steps that have worked for me and countless others. So, here are a few tips. So, the first thing you need to do is acknowledge your fears. Many of us ignore our fears pretending they don't exist, but they're there, lurking in the back of our minds. Bring them into the light, acknowledge them. The next thing you need to do is write it down. Externalize your fear, write it on paper. When you see it right in front of you, it loses some of its power. Crumple it up, stomp on it, stick it in your fridge as a reminder to confront it. The third action item would be to feel the fear. Accept that fear is natural. Don't be ashamed of it. Feel it fully and realize it doesn't control you. As the saying goes, feel the fear and do it anyway. Number 4, ask what's the worst that can happen? Often our fears are highly exaggerated. If you fail, you'll learn and move on. If you're rejected, you'll find someone better. The worst case scenario is rarely as bad as we imagine. The next thing you should be doing is take action, which I had to really work on this myself. Stop overthinking. Just act. When you take that leap, you'll often find the fear was highly unnecessary. Step number 6, prepare for battle. Arm yourself with skills and a plan. If you're afraid of failure, prepare thoroughly. Practice, learn, and then execute. Step number 7, stay in the moment. Fear thrives on future what ifs. Focus on the now. Just take it one step at a time. Step number 8, start small. Don't try to conquer a mountain in one go. Take small, manageable steps and celebrate each one. I really had to work on this one because I would sit there and want to get everything just done in one fell swoop and then would get upset and very disappointed once I didn't get everything done that I was trying to accomplish. So then it will just make me not want to go after any more of my goals. So just take it one step at a time and do manageable small increments. It'll help you out in the long run. Last but not least, step number 9, celebrate success. Every victory, no matter how small, is a step forward. Use each success as a fuel for the next challenge. And I really had to work on this one because you can be so hard on yourself. I know I am, trying to achieve perfection when perfection isn't even what is trying to be accomplished. No matter how small, just make sure you big up yourself. Pat yourself on the back. You deserve it. Success builds on success. Your life works in the same way. Each small step forward builds momentum, creating a spiral of success. Remember, every step counts. Every fear you face, every action you take brings you closer to your dreams. Fear is a part of being human, but letting it stop you, that's a choice. You are good enough. You are capable. And the life you dream of is waiting for you to take that first step. So what's holding you back? Acknowledge it, feel it, and take action today. If you found this video helpful, like, comment, and subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Let's conquer our fears together. See you guys in the next video. Bye.
Remove that alone part. Take that alone part out of your mind. Take that trauma out of your mind. Take that, not being secured out of your mind. Stop being scared of being alone. Stop being scared of things not working out. Stop being scared of what can happen. Stop questioning yourself. Stop questioning everything. Stop trying to figure out how things are going to work out. Stop trying to figure out what it's going to look like, how it's going to turn out, who it's going to be with. Just stop and take a second and realize that everything that you're trying to build has to be a we. Everything that you're trying to build has to be trustworthy. And that's within yourself. Because you can't be a part of a partnership when you question everything that you do on your own. It's not going to work because now you're messing with that person's visions and a person's mindset. You have to be very strong and bold in the decisions that you make. Okay?